Everybody knows how wonderful I feel. Everybody knows. I see you there. Don't pretend you're not there.
Hey. Okay, well,
I mean, I didn't see you. I saw the shadow.
fine. I feel pretty good too.
Oh, I'm glad. Given that you're the only guard left, I was a little worried you'd have regrets of some kind that might deter you from coming back up here.
I I don't really do regrets.
Mm. I find regret is very healthy for in general. Like I know how you mean it, but like usually when I hear someone say they have no regrets or they don't do regrets, they mean that like they don't consider their past actions and fuck anyone who's upset with them. And I can't respect that, but like I think regrets are healthy. It's how I've become a better person over time. Granted, I'm in jail, so I don't know how successful
Really?
that is.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're trapped in a box. I'm not sure how the whole regret thing is working out for you
I mean,
either.
I feel bad about some of the things that got me here. A couple One of the things that got me here.
You know, one of these days you're gonna have to tell me what that is.
If the past 24 hours have been any indication, then whatever got me in here seems worth it at the moment.
That seemed like an awful change of topic.
So, how are you doing?
All right, well, I'm doing pretty good. I did bring a letter. I think maybe we should keep our personal lives off of the broadcast a little
I
bit.
mean, we could do that if you want, and I don't want to.
But when we're done,
What are you doing later?
I think you know what I'm doing later. Should I say who I'm doing later?
Oh, it's a who. I've become more than an object. Fancy.
Finally, congrats, you've been promoted.
Oh, sorry. What? Do you have something to read there?
I did have a letter.
That's wonderful. Let's do that.
All right. I've never been wrong before, and I'm not sure how to cope. I'm a little concerned that I'm the bad guy. I don't feel like I'm in the wrong. I've never initiated a fight, and I never throw the first punch. I just respond accordingly. I was once shorted on a gig. I asked for payment that was promised, and the innkeepers refused to pay me and were disrespectful. So I finished the argument by locking them in their tavern and burning it to the ground. Fair is fair. Well, at least I
Whoa!
thought. I know. Anyway, he
That
continues. Oh,
escalated very
that's not all.
quickly.
That's not all. He's not done. I'm assuming it's a he.
I would assume it's
hmm
a he as well. I don't want to generalize, but profiling
I'm okay with generalizing in this case.
seems like a safe bet.
So the letter continues. Well, at least I thought. I have this party member who will just not stop messing up my beautiful plans on purpose. It's a problem. And so I put a hit out on her, but she survived,
Of course it's her.
and no one knows it was me. It's making me second guess everything.
He should have first guessed it.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any guessing on this note at all. But I gotta say, this reminds me of an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Oh, no, no. You go ahead.
Uh-huh. Like, as you should know, I have pretty terrible taste in men.
Do tell.
Insult intended.
Oh. Is your affection a diagnosis? Is that how this works? Because I've met those people before and it's unfortunate sometimes.
Who knows? Maybe this is the exception that proves the rule. We'll find out. I'll find out. Anyway, so my ex-boyfriend was one of those guys that could never be wrong about anything. You would take him to a brewery, and then he would sit down at the counter and tell you all about the ale that elves brew. And of course, you know your best friend since childhood is an elf. She owns a brewery, so of course you grew up knowing all about the elfin brews. Whatever you want to know. Of course, I know everything about elfin brews, right? So no, this guy,
But
I
he
would
still insisted on Terrence explaining to you.
exactly. That little dick munch would just sit down at the counter, and every single beer he would go through and he would tell me all about Elven ABV and how it was different than Terran ABV. So, of course, our relationship ended with me drinking him under the table, stomping on his head just a little bit, and leaving him there. Usually, if you think that you are always right in every situation,
That
so if you're the sort of person that thinks that they've never initiated a fight and feels like they're never in the wrong, then I would say you need to take a good hard look at every one of your actions and maybe think about how they affect other people and what choices you could have made differently, because I bet you there's a lot of them. For example, maybe not putting on a hit on your goddamn teammate. I would think that's, teammate 101, but that's just me. Maybe I'm stupid.
I've never even come across that before.
That seems like a really stupid take, right?
That's the first time I've heard anyone even like imply such a thing.
I didn't know you could take out hits on your teammates. Like, who would you find?
I'm guessing one of the fucking bad
Some
guys.
discount assassin in the backwoods tavern?
Right? Anyone who opens a letter with, I've never been wrong before, has probably been wrong most of the time.
And I'm not sure how to cope.
I came across a saying at one point that was essentially, if success is your default concern, then failure is likely your default mode. And I feel like this kind of logic applies
Ooh, I
here.
like that. Good thing success is never my primary concern.
Yeah, no, like, I'm just happy to keep breathing. As long as I'm doing that, I think I'm okay.
I think that better be your main goal at this point.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I have going for me. If you're always assuming that you're right, you're never considering anyone else's perspectives, anyone else's feelings, any other outcomes.
Then you're automatically on defense all the time.
It's not a functional way to live. Every thought I've ever had has been improved by the second thought, the third thought. Granted, the first thought may be the correct answer, but I don't know that for sure until the second, third, or fourth thought.
Oh wow, you have second thoughts? I usually have an immediate instinct and then the thought happens after the action.
Yeah, see, I feel like this person has the thought after the action also, but that thought has always justified the action, where I feel like you actually analyze the action at least, and that's something.
My thought usually tears the action apart and tells me that I did the wrong thing.
Oh, so you're going slightly the other way. There's an old philosopher that I once had a massively brutal duel with, but then we became really good friends. Once he beat me.
A duel of words or of weapons?
No, it was a fist fight. We weren't going for murder, but I had insulted him. But he did say, if you are living by a way and you are confident in that way, you should be able to entertain, listen to, or explore any other way, and either accept correction or be more certain of the way you are already living. And I feel like that has really functionally defined an idea for me. Like, I live the way I choose to, and if someone gives me a piece of information that conflicts with that, if I consider it, and it's better than what I have, I've gotten better. If I consider it, and it's not better than what I have, I am more certain about my current station. And I feel like either way it's a win-win, but if you can't consider anything outside of yourself, you are at a huge disadvantage for most of any experience you're ever going to have, and this sounds like what this person... And it actually reminds me specifically of, not a friend of mine, obviously, but I was at a tavern, met this guy. He seemed perfect.
An acquaintance?
Acquaintance is still even being generous.
Enemy?
We were drinking buddies. We were drinking buddies for a couple hours.
Oh, that explains it.
He was with a friend of his already. They were chatting. One of them looked very well dressed, like he had just come off some sort of like important meeting, and the other person looked like he had not had an important meeting in weeks. And I sat at the tavern, and at one point, the bartender, she exited, and one of them turns to the other and goes, "So, is that the chick you've been trying to hook up with?" And of course, the more disheveled one's like, "Yeah, no, she's really easy to talk to." And I could not contain myself. I was stifling a laugh, and the more well put together of the two leans past the first one and goes, "You think something's fucking funny?" And I go, "Yeah, the fact that he thinks that she needs to be easy to talk to instead of him needing to be more interesting."
Thank
Thank
you.
God. The guy who was more put together thought that was hilarious, because the other one looked like he was going to stab me, but it all came out overall fine, I guess.
Well, thank you. Everybody just needs to be more interesting. It's not my job to be entertaining to them. Or nice, even.
You be more interesting, and everyone's more easy to talk to. That's how that works.
Yeah. I'm neither very interesting nor easy to talk to, so I might be coming from a bit of a disadvantage, but...
I mean, see, but I find you easy to talk to.
Hey, at least I'm good enough for a guy in a box. That's because you have only me. So, who would you have to compare it to? No one.
You are absolutely charming and delightful.
Not if it's clearly a lie based on everything you know about me.
I thought I was going to fluster you, and I was... Oh.
Turn it off.
Sorry, folks. Have a good week. keep an eye out for new episodes on Sundays, and if you want to send in a letter, or if you just want to learn more about the show, head to shadedareas.com.